Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing an advanced Dungeons & Dragons advice video, one-shots to campaigns. I keep hearing from younger players that there's some confusion as to what kind of game they're playing in. I heard the game master's response, and it was pretty good. It explained it pretty well. I figured if some of our players didn't understand the distinction, then there's probably a bunch of other folks out there that didn't understand it either. So here we go. Before we get into this, if you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you'd hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content on social media, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. If you enjoy a good book, check out my other page on my author page, on Amazon. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there. I like to think I write good stories that make you think. I wrote a 3-book science fiction Western series called Drifters. I wrote a fun story about a house in New Orleans where the monsters all hang out. It's called The House Off Farrago Road. I got 2 so far. I'm working on a 3rd. It's futuristic science fiction, space warfare. The first one is Vanguard 1. The second one is Task Force Terminus. I'm working on the 3rd one. It's a study of humanity from an alien perspective. I wrote a political fantasy called The Righteous President. Hope you get them, and I hope you like them. Now, keep in mind that the definitions of these and the gaming style has changed a lot since I was young. So I'm just going to jump into this. When I first started playing, the term one-shot didn't exist. We made up characters for so-and-so's game, and we played the game. Sometimes it was done in 1 or 2 sessions. Sometimes it took longer. We didn't have names for the types of sessions, the types of games. We didn't have names for them. All we knew was that it was fun and exciting. We judged the game by how well the Dungeon Master ran it. It was all new. The first real campaign I ever played in was my friend Jesse's game. We started out exploring an old tower, some ruins, because our characters were pretty broke. From that short mission, Jesse expanded his game into an entire world where our party eventually ended up overthrowing an evil tyrant and installing his good cousin as the new king. It was a 2-year campaign, and it was awesome. I loved it. Jesse's an excellent game master. What people call a one-shot today is generally designed for 1 or 2 sessions, usually about 8 to 12 hours in total. This never works out like that. It always takes longer. The last one-shot I played in took over a month, which was about 4 game sessions, and we still didn't finish it. I'm not sure why. We were having fun. It's just the way it goes sometimes. The people want to do something else, and they do it. Something happens with the game masters. The timing is wrong. The people can't show up for whatever reason, or maybe the venue is unavailable for whatever reason. Something always happens to interrupt it. But I'm not sure why this happened. Everybody was having fun, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. A campaign is anything longer than a one-shot, evidently. These days, most dungeon masters see a nice module at the store. And everyone rolls up new characters at whatever level the module calls for. It is a valid way to run a game. It's fun for everyone involved. It is, and that's the point of a tabletop role-playing game, to have fun. However, a real old-school campaign has every player roll up a first-level character. Each player runs their character separately until the Dungeon Master can get them to meet up with at least one other player character. And slowly the group gets together. As the player characters join up, the group is formed. This usually takes multiple game sessions, and by the time the group is formed completely, the player characters are between 2nd and 5th levels. The setting is a world the Dungeon Master has created from scratch. Check out my Advanced Dungeons & Dragons advice videos, and you'll get a feel for how games were run back in the day. Campaigns of this type last for years, sometimes decades. The last real campaign I ran lasted for like 13 or 14 years. The characters started out at first level and in a variety of disparate situations. One was a slave, one was a hunter, one was living in a monastery as a monk, one was in a temple as a cleric. One was in a castle. One was a fisherman. One was a mason. And one was shipwrecked from a foreign land, the Oriental Adventures. Over the course of that 13 years, or 14 years, whatever it was, these player characters ended slavery, acted as couriers and diplomats, ended 3 wars, forged 6 kingdoms into an empire, uniting dwarves, elves, and humans, and then one of them, an unlikely barbarian, became the emperor. Then another, the Hungan, who started out as a slave, took control of that barbarian and several other rulers using his voodoo magic and ran the whole show from the shadows in his mountaintop cave. Yeah. I'd check out my video, The Puppet Master. During the course of this 13-year or 14-year campaign, whatever it was, one player character created an aircraft carrier and a troop transport. Another forged an alliance between Asian and Occidental worlds. Another settled a long-running feud between 2 rich families. One married the daughter of a noble and sired the future king of a coastal trading kingdom. Finally, my good friend Jesse, the quintessential thief, became a criminal kingpin who ran the Thieves Guild and a dozen other underworld organizations. He made Al Capone look like a petty thief. Only his group helped keep the peace, and they fostered trade. Yeah. What I'm getting at, I guess, is that the concept of the different types of games has changed over the years. People these days have a shorter attention spans and lack the patience of the gamers back in the day. In high school, we would start gaming on Friday after school, and everyone would go home on Sunday night. We slept when we needed to and ate when we could. I swear it used to drive my mom crazy. During that 14-year campaign, we usually played twice a week. On Tuesdays, we started at 6 p.m. and played until midnight. On Friday nights, we started at 6 and played until Saturday evening around 8 p.m. or so. This was usually every week. People these days have nowhere near that kind of stamina or patience, and to be fair, in today's economy, very few people have that kind of time, honestly. But more importantly, the gamers of today have no idea what a real campaign is. They will never know what it is like to find yourself in a world of magic and monsters, to overcome adversity and then reshape that world into something new and different, to have a hand in the creation of a new world. It's sad that those good old days are gone forever. I'm not sad for me, mind you. I enjoyed them. I was there. I'm sad for these new gamers of today. They have no idea what they missed out on. Yeah, the gamers that I play with now are absolutely wonderful. They're good people. But, my son and I play in the game every Sunday, and it's really great. We play 5th edition. But there's something to be said for those old games and how they jump-started the entire tabletop role-playing genre. And again, I feel sorry for these new gamers because they missed out. They really did. If you get a chance, check out the book Years of Adventure. It's about that time, about that era, and I hope everybody reads it and enjoys it. I did a video on a book review on it. Hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all. Vanguard 1, Devo Polan, a scientific representative from a pacifist race called the Gandhiri, has come to Earth to learn the one thing that humans do better than anyone else in the galaxy: to fight. In the sequel, Task Force Terminus, Earth is at war with an alien race called the Amdola. Devo Polan's new commission in the Terran fleet exposes him to bigotry and treachery, and he comes to realize that sometimes political and military maneuvering are one and the same.